Alright, let's play some Europa Universalis 3. I didn't save it after the last thing, but I hadn't really done anything but set my national focus, which I'll do right now, converting my leader to a general. So, yeah. He's a bit better than he was before, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, we can actually start doing some gameplay today. Well, one of the things we really need to do before that is we need to use up this money. And the first thing we need to do with money is we need to buy some advisors. Because these advisors are really good. You go to the court tab of your overview, and you click, and then you can recruit a great person. Okay, and we have the government tech. Let's see, land tech is probably good. And let's buy another guy. Let's buy a treasurer. He sucks. Let's try for another one. Okay, that guy's level 2. When you buy them, it costs a certain amount of cultural prestige or cultural tradition, and you can buy as many as you want until you run out. Okay. And some of them cost military prestige, either naval or land prestige. Okay, so now we have a tech trade investment guy. That's good. As I said, our sliders will kick in later, so we can adjust those then. What else? We have a couple forts we can build. Mine is on the French border, so it would be prudent to use that one. We don't have enough money to Christianify Al-Jaf yet. Let's change our slider. Well, some of them are quite dangerous to do. Like if we run a centralization, it's guaranteed that something bad will happen. So I don't want to do that. The safer ones are the ones in the middle. Serfdom, innovation, mercantilism, free subjects, narrow-minded free trade. Those are really safe. The ones on the bottom can, like, give you penalties to your force modifiers or your manpower. And the naval land thing can actually take away from your tech. So I don't want to do that. I think some of the other ones could take away from your tech, too. I think innovative is probably the best idea right now. So let's do that. We look weak. We lose some prestige. I'm not too worried about that. That's all right. Okay. So I mean, don't get me wrong. Losing prestige is bad, but it's just not that bad. Because we got our banker, we can do this, which is passing the Liquor Act. I don't want to do that until we're at Stability 3, though, because it makes our stability more expensive. And it does give us more money, though. Next thing I want to do is go into the trade. I don't think I went over the province menu, but this is basically information about the province here. Different things you can do, building buildings, province decisions, building regiments, building ships, hiring mercenaries, which is like building regiments, only they're slightly different. I'll go over that if we ever do that. Well, I could go over that now. The difference is you can see here is that they are faster to build, but the downside is they don't get reinforced from your manpower. So yeah, they're good if you need troops fast, or if you don't have enough manpower to do something. You can get mercenaries. It also has different stuff: the growth rate, the population, the supply limit. The supply limit is how many troops can actually stand in the province without attrition kicking in. The attrition of the province, the revolt risk, which is very important. I don't have any provinces with revolt risk, but this one has potential to have a revolt risk if some other modifiers kick in. The culture of the province, that's pretty important. the provinces you have that aren't your primary culture and aren't an accepted culture have a penalty to taxes. So, um, mouse over it. I guess not. Oh, that's Alexandria. Yeah, there we go. Non-accepted culture, 30%. Um, so, yeah. But the one thing we want to look at right now is this: the trade, center of trade. Now, center of trade is basically a place where you can send your merchants to trade, and that's the only thing they do. Um, over here is the value of the trade and your meter for using stuff. As you can see here, it costs 2.55 ducats to send a merchant, which is very cheap because we own the thing. So we'll send all of our merchants there. As you can see here, there's 20 free slots. That means in the entire thing there can only be 20 merchants. Um, and if you have 5, that means there's only 3. There's only 15 slots left, which means that only 3 nations can possibly get 5, or any combination of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. A lot of times there's a bunch of people with just one merchant, and having one is better than none, but it's still not that great. Below the money is the compete chance. Now we have a 95% compete chance in Alexandria because we own it. So that's a really good way to dominate the trades. The center of trade is to have a high compete chance. And an auto send priority. If you have a bunch of centers of trade you're working on at once, it's good to have them set on different priorities for auto sending because you might want the most valuable one to be on the highest priority, but the lowest or the one that has the lowest compete chance, so that you get your more merchants going towards it, so you have a higher chance of getting it. So like this one, I'd probably leave it at low priority because my merchants are almost guaranteed to compete away anybody else. So, uh, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at low auto send, and it'll automatically spend money to send merchants there once you have a merchant spawn. Next up here is our colonists. We don't really have anything to do with colonists right now, but once these areas spawn, I believe they are colonizable. So they cost money to send things there, and you need to have troops around in case the natives are being nasty. So yeah, we probably won't do that until we have a couple of armies built. And we're going to need an army around just in case one of these Muslim provinces has a revolt or something. Even though there's no revolt risk now, that could change. Diplomats. Diplomats are probably the most important of these guys. At least, well, no, they are. Because you can't do anything with any other nations without a diplomat. Like, if I wanted to talk to the Byzantines and say, dissolve the alliance with them, I would need to have a diplomat available. Okay, well, let's go over the little things that we can do with the diplomats. Declare war. That's pretty self-explanatory. Declaring war requires either a casus belli or a loss of stability. Now, sometimes you'll have a casus belli and then you'll lose stability anyway for different reasons, like if you have a good relations with them or something. But no casus belli is a -2 stability, and even if you have a casus belli, you can still lose some. So, yeah, there's that. A royal marriage basically gives you a chance at inheriting their throne if they don't have a good heir, and you can seize the throne and stuff like that. But it also raises your relations with them, and it makes it harder for them to declare war on you because it's a two-way thing. So it's a good idea to try to get a royal marriage with powerful enemies around you. Not that the Byzantines are enemies, but yeah, and it's pretty likely. It says likely at the bottom like that. Our next powerful enemy is probably France. So let's look at what we can do with France. We can do the royal marriage. Some things you can't do a royal marriage with, like archbishoprics and merchant republics. You can't do a royal marriage, which you can do it with noble republics like Provence here. You can offer alliance. Now, so you click this, offer alliance. It's very likely that France would ally with us. But France kind of gets into trouble a lot, and so do the Byzantines. I actually don't want to be allied with the Byzantines because they might start attacking people, and I don't want them pulling me into a war before I'm ready. So I'm not going to offer an alliance to France. Instead, what I'm going to do is I am going to give them military access. This basically means that they can station their troops and ships in our provinces. The reason I'm doing that, you might think, well, if they're your enemy, you don't want to do that. But um, it has a -5 stability penalty if they declare war on us, which is huge. So yeah. And you can see our relations are 35. One of the things you can do is send gifts, and I'm gonna probably be doing that when I have the money to get our relations up as high as I can. And the opposite of that is sending an insult, which is basically if you have good relations with someone and you try to go declare war on them, you get a -2 stability hit for having good relations, and insult takes care of that. It also gives them a casus belli on you if you want them to attack you for some reason. We could have also gotten a royal marriage with them, but I can only send one at a time. I want to save one, so I have 2 more that I can use. What else can we do? Oh, yeah. I want to join Ragusa's Trade League. And do that. There we go. Now what this does is it means we can't do the things where we say, hey, we'll send all of our stuff through your center of trade, and then yeah, we get more money that way. But this way we can have a higher relations with them, and it also makes it so that they can sometimes build trading posts in our provinces. I like it because it's less micromanagement, and these guys control nothing, but it puts us in their trade league, so that's great. I like that. The trading post is a 10% boost to taxes and a 1% less chance of a revolt. 1% less revolt risk. Okay, so who else? There are other things you can do. You can offer issue an embargo, which basically means they don't get any economic benefit from your provinces, whether through trade or using my trade network or my center of trade. So that can be useful against people who rely on you or rely on your center of trade for money. Yeah. Um, but it reduces our trade efficiency. We can get a trade agreement, which basically means we tell them, hey, we don't want to compete with your merchants. Why don't we get a trade agreement? And basically, we work together in a trade league or a center of trade to try to monopolize it without competing. We can offer vassalization with people that we have alliances or royal marriages to. And this is a good way to get land peacefully. If you have if you have vassals that you have for a long time, they sometimes, or not vassals, but people that are weaker than you, that have been your allies for a long time, they might accept the vassalization. Or if you're just really strong, and they have a good relation with you, you could proclaim a guarantee, which is like a one-sided alliance. Like I could say, proclaim a guarantee against the Papal States, and then yeah, anybody who attacks them, I get a casus belli on them. We get called into a war actually. So yeah, you can do that to protect like smaller states to prevent people from declaring war on them, or to try to prevent people from declaring war on them. You can expand influence. Now, I can do this pretty much just with the Pope, and I think the Knights. Yeah, but like the Byzantines are too strong militarily, and everybody else is too far away. So, what that does is if somebody messes with this, not attacking it does too, but like other stuff, you get a casus belli on them for messing with your sphere of influence. Explain that. A loan offer, you can offer a loan to them and they have to pay it back, and if they don't, I think you get a casus belli on them. I don't mess with these ones. Subsidies is like that only during wartime, and you're supposed to help them. You can sell provinces. I said during my Crusader Kings Let's Play that I might sell Cyprus back to the Byzantines. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but it's just an example of some of the things I can do. Uh, because we are the papal controller, we have two special options: call for a crusade and excommunicate. Now we have to pick. If we picked a Catholic kingdom like the Byzantines here, or not the Byzantines, Bavarians here, we could say call through a crusade. Not call, but excommunicate them. But they don't have a leader right now, so I can't. And crusades are like, well, it's just like Crusader Kings. If they're not a Christian, we can't call a crusade on the Orthodox, for example. They must be Christian. They must not be Christians, excuse me. And basically, a bunch of people will, you know, get bonuses while attacking them. It would be, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do it if I was going to attack a Muslim country. See, like, these provinces right here are extremely good. Well, they're not extremely good. They're pretty good. This province is really good. 17. So I might call for a crusade on them before I declare war on them. So that I get a bigger bonus to my stuff while attacking them. So that's an option. Yeah. And I do have a core on this province, so that's quite a good option there. I think this is their only province. It's hard to tell. Can't find it out. Anyway. Yeah. What should do with the other diplomat? Let's excommunicate somebody. Let's excommunicate Sweden. Get out of Catholicism, Sweden. Oh, we got our Casus Belli now. Okay, so we got Holy War Casus Belli against them, against these Muslim types, and France as well, because we have a core on Normandy here. So yeah, yeah, I think that's pretty much done. I like saving a diplomat to just in case of emergencies. Got missionaries. What missionaries do is if you go to a province that doesn't have your religion in it, you can send a missionary. I don't have enough money to do it now, but you can see here that it costs a certain amount of money, and it's based on the tax income and the population of the city. And then this is the percent chance that it is the chance that it is for being converted, and the various modifiers for that. Apparently, Catholics are good at converting people, which I guess is true. That's how it worked in real life. But they weren't very nice about it. Neither are we. We're Crusaders, so that's fine with us. So yeah, I think we don't have any spies or magistrates, though. Spies are used for espionage missions, which we can't do yet because we don't have any. But they're very powerful. You send here, you click here to send them, and you have various options, which I can't show you because I don't have any. And magistrates are used for making province decisions and other things. Some of them cost more than one, or national decisions. I don't think any of them cost magistrates. No. Cultural decisions? Yeah, cultural decisions are the ones that cost magistrates. The Imperial administration actually gets more of them, so that's one of the reasons I want to switch to Imperial as soon as I can. Although I'm not sure I want to do that from a government change point of view, because eventually you want to get out of the more basal kind of governments. You know, like monarchies and stuff, or feudal monarchies. There are better types of government that are just plain better that you maybe want to utilize later. But that requires more government tech. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think we're ready to start the game now. Like I say, the the economy will kick in at the end of the month. So we have about 17 days for which to just watch the events happening. So let's do that. And then you can press the spacebar to pause and unpause the game. Okay, create a proper fleet. This one is really annoying. Byzantines rejected a royal marriage. That's not good. Basically, we have to get our fleet up within 99% of our force limit, which is 34. And it's probably going to go up at the end of the month. It'll probably be like the 40 or something.